her body and basically tell her to lose more weight so that she would look pretty. I mean, have you seen how thin Mina is? Mina appeared on the YouTube channel TV in September of this year and shared how on top of the verbal abuse, she also suffered physical abuse with Jimin punching her. The two haven't officially put an end to this still ongoing feud between them, but Mina had mentioned she already forgave Jimin, not because the latter came and apologized personally, but because her former groupmate asked forgiveness in her dreams. Moving on, we have someone from old school K-pop in the person on Sharp's Jihye. To give you a brief background about the group, Sharp is one of the few mixed K-pop groups back in the day, and were very famous in the 90s until early 2000s. But everything went downhill when the group was caught in a very shocking scandal. In 2002, the group was preparing for an appearance on KBS's Music Bank when it was reported that members Lee Ji-hye and Seo Ji-young were involved in a physical altercation in an elevator. And yes, the two idols got very physical with each other that they even started grabbing and pulling each other's hair. Eventually, the managers were able to stop the two ladies and the situation was pacified. Well, not for too long because things got pretty worse when the parents of the members got involved. It even reached to the point that Ji-young's mother hit Ji-hye when she came to their house to apologize, which was not very nice of her to say the least, especially when Ji-hye went out of her way to just say sorry. The commotion between the two got pretty serious, and by the end of that week, their company announced their disbandment. 15 years after that scandal, Lee Ji-hye spoke about the controversy when she appeared on MBC's Human documentary way back in 2017, and the former idol was all tears when she recalled how she was physically and verbally abused by her groupmate. What was more saddening was when she shared that back then, she didn't have a choice but to endure it for the sake of the group. Thankfully though, it seems like the four members of Sharp were able to mend their loose ends after Jung Soo-hyun, another former member, was able to bring the group together to meet and talk about their past mistakes. Well, at least they were able to give that chapter of their lives a closure, and we do hope that they would bring nothing but happiness to each other from here on. While Sharp did reconcile in the end, not all idols who were accused of mistreating their groupmates were lucky enough to ask forgiveness and be forgiven, because most of the time, things don't end up pretty well. Moving on, we have another former girl group member who spilled the tea about the mistreatment she experienced while she was still a K-pop idol, and this girl did not stop with her group but went on and exposed the whole K-pop industry. Former Fiesta member Cheska is now a well-known Twitch streamer, and during one of her streams, a fan asked about her experience when she was still an idol, and she did not shy away from the question. She started by saying that her experience as a K-pop idol messed her up big time, and let me tell you, this is just a sneak peek of the things she revealed throughout her stream. Along the way, she revealed how she was bullied by former members Yeji and Jae, and while a fan commented that getting into fights with a friend is pretty normal, Cheska elaborated that while she agreed, Fiesta is different. She explained that they usually fight about small misunderstandings, so she often thinks that apologizing first would make the situation better, but her members would just say okay and then ignore her for the rest of the day. Yup, a very passive-aggressive way of handling things that don't solve anything. In the end, Cheska ultimately opened up about how she wasn't very keen on Fiesta's songs and concept, and the fact that she wasn't treated nicely by her company as well as her members was too much for her to endure. At least, I know we're all happy seeing her doing the things she loves after those bad experiences. Last up, let's talk about Jaya's Park Hyung-sik. I bet most of you know him as an actor, but before he became the leading man we all love, Hyung-sik debuted as a member of idol group Jaya, and unfortunately, he revealed that he was actually bullied during his trainee days. In an episode of SBS's Healing Camp, Hyun-sik confessed that while he was training with a different company before, the other trainees didn't like the fact that he was close with the manager that cast him and thought he was sucking up. This is the reason why they stopped eating meals with him and even reached the point that they stopped talking to him, which eventually took a toll on his mental health. I mean, he was just 17 back then, so it was expected that he suffered from depression because of this. This continued until he moved to a new company. He even practices alone because he was too scared to interact with the other trainees. But what was heartwarming is when he shared that after moving company, where their leader would always make sure that Hyung-sik trains and practices with the whole group, which is the reason why his mood became brighter, and he started gaining friends after being an outcast in his former company. We sure are glad that everything worked out just fine for him, right? Being a K-pop idol is hard enough, and the last thing we want to hear is idols being mean to each other. I mean, the industry is harsh enough, they could at least treat each other well to make things a little better. And I do hope that this situation becomes a lot nicer in the future. Cross fingers. What do you guys think about idols mistreating other idols? Let us know in the comments below and make sure to stay tuned for more. See you next time. Bye.